there's a line there that can be
Yeah.
blurred, right?
Yeah.
And having loved those people, you can feel some type of a way, because look, believe it or not, I grew up in charismatic churches back in Haiti too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where people had vision, I had this revelation, right? So, but me, I always used to question things, right? I
Mm.
was really heavy on Bible study and questioning things. You know, even my mom and my mom and dad, they we grew up. They raised us in charismatic circles, and all the stuff that you see happening, that stuff invaded the entire world, right? And Haiti is
Yeah.
4 hours away from the United States, right? It's not like it's Africa or anything like that, right? So I truly understand that. And I know many people who are still in that circle, many friends who are
Yeah.
still in that
Yeah.
circle. And I will say the same exact thing about their pastor in their church without vilifying the actual person himself, right? The
Correct.
Right.
person
Right.
has
Right.
has dignity. We need to respect that. I believe that Joel Osteen may be a very nice guy, to his wife and his kids, right?
Yeah.
But when I attack Joel Osteen, I don't attack his personhood. I attack
Yeah.
his teaching, right? So,
Hmm.
but sometimes this dichotomy can be difficult for somebody
Yes.
who's
Yes.
poured their heart, and there's sentiment there. There's a heart there. So I truly a hundred
Yeah.
percent understand that you feel some type of way, and I would feel
Yeah.
some type of way too. You know what I mean? So, and
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want that to come across. And I'm glad that
No.
you
No.
you
No.
put that
Yeah.
out there, and I
Yeah.
want all listeners, and that's why I have to be careful when I laugh at these things, so that people
Yeah.
don't think that I'm laughing in such a way that, are you trying to call them ridiculous or
Yeah.
dumb or whatever, because that could have been me too, or
True.
that could have
Yeah.
been anybody. So
Yeah.
that's why we
That,
have
that
to be kind about it.
Yeah.
that's
Someone.
something my wife is really good at. Like oftentimes when we see stuff, she'll, and I'll get frustrated and I'm like, gosh, how could someone teach that? How could someone believe that? Like even in our own church, sometimes we come up against stuff still where we're like, why are they doing that? And it's like, we have to kind of like, help be some discerning members of the church and do what we can. But she is so good at being like, we were there too. Like
Yeah.
that was us.
True.
Our hearts were hard too. And it's like, whew, it's sobering. It's like very sobering when
It
you
is.
have to look back and be like, by the grace of God, I realized what I was doing and what happened. And so it's like, I don't want to throw a wet blanket or anything. Trust me, I have good laughs all the time when I see
True.
some stuff coming up. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But there is that sobering moment of like, oh yeah, we were there too. Like we were
True.
just as in it and 100% for it, to the point where we were teaching it and we were
Yeah.
promoting it and we were spreading this kind of quote unquote gospel. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah, it's a hard thing to juggle. So
Yeah. So did you know that this whole glitter thing was someone pouring something in the AC vent,
no,
or okay, you
no.
didn't know that? Okay. So they
Oh,
didn't.
oh,
Okay.
oh, 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 like, oh, at the time, I'm saying now, yes.
Yeah.
Like
No, at the
I've
time
seen
while
that
you were
clip.
there, you
Yeah.
didn't know. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no.
What about the whole angel feather? Because one of the things I think John mentioned this. Just misquoting the scriptures. I think you said the same thing, Jesse. He always referenced Psalm 91, right? He will cover you with his feathers, right? And then he'd be like,
Right.
"Oh, that's
Right.
what he says." But then, if you think about what both of you said earlier, right? Angels, these are powerful beings. You can imagine just who is plucking out their feathers. Like, I mean, how are they gonna fly? Of course, they don't have feathers like birds or whatever, but someone who goes as low as that to use certain, those type of scriptures to justify something that is so unbiblical. But did you believe it at the time? And
Oh,
now looking
100%.
back, okay,
Yeah.
you believed it. Okay,
Oh,
but
100%. Yeah.
did you see any? Did you see any feather, or it was just telltale story to you, but you just believed
Oh,
it?
yeah, I would see feathers. I would see feathers, and I would see the gold dust, and like we had a couple people in our class that people considered seers, and so like if feathers started appearing, they'd be like, oh yeah, I see an angel in the spirit over here, or I see an angel over here, and they describe your angel to you. Like I had one girl in my class. I mean, she's still at Bethel. She's on staff now. Her husband's on staff. She
Mm.
was the one that was the whole wakey wakey for the giant revival angel in Wales. She would talk about seeing angels and how angels would turn on her lights in her bedroom or turn off the lights for her in her bedroom. Like it was just, and
Wow.
they would use passages like in Acts. when like Peter was in prison, and
Hmm.
someone knocked on their door, and they said, no, it couldn't be Peter, it must be his angels. So then Chris Valton would say, see, the supernatural was so normal to the early church that they would
Wow.
assume it was their angel knocking at the door, not them.
Hmm.
Why did we lose that? So it's like they use scripture, but I think we all can agree that that was more of a exaggerating statement, not saying like literally, oh, it must be his angel at the door. It's like
Wow.
like but they took that as quite literally. The early church was so used to interaction with angels that angels would knock at the door.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's interesting. Uh, but so when you see during your time there, you see the feathers. Looking back, do you think someone dropped them, or it was just because we all know that that had nothing to do with real angels? But
Yeah.
you believe that those were true angel feathers, but did you see someone bringing it or just flying?
No,
How
I
do?
mean, so like, so think about this. Like, I was there, right, and then I was there for another. I was part of Bethel for like another 12 years after leaving Bethel.
Yeah,
So no point in my mind did I ever think anyone was manufacturing anything.
I see.
I wholeheartedly thought this was all 100% true.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So someone higher up probably hired some people to just drop those feathers, just like they did the gold glitters. Obviously, you saw Justin Peter
I
sharing
mean,
it.
they very well could have. I mean, there's been no official evidence that that's what's happening,
Yeah,
but I would say now that I would imagine it was manufactured. Yeah, that would
yeah,
that would be my probably my take now.
yeah. I know Justin Peters kind of put a stake out there, like, look, I'll pay
Yeah.
for it. Take these feathers, take it to I think Department of Aviary, one of the universities
Yep.
down
Yep. In
there.
California. Yeah. Yep.
I will pay for it. He wrote an
Yep.
official letter. Of course, you know they will not respond because anyone in
Yeah.
their right mind would never believe. But then that's what deception is. It saddens me when you quote scriptures. Really, you quote scriptures to justify something that is unbiblical.
Hmm.
And of course, it makes it hard for those people to doubt it. You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
just
Yes.
like what Chris said, well, he's referencing little like it was Peter knocking, but of course people thought perhaps because in their mind there's no way because he had been jailed and some of they were praying, but perhaps
Yeah.
they were thinking that he's gonna be killed just like James was killed. But
Yeah.
then someone twists that scripture just to use it to claim that
Yeah.
angels could show up. But it's really deception, and that's when we say it is demonic.
Yeah. I would
That's
agree.
what I mean. Not that people are demon, they have demons because things like this are motivated and engineered by Satan himself because
Yes.
he's a master deceiver.
Hmm. I would agree with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. So we move a little bit. I know John. We had wanted to talk a little, kind of get some reaction on Mike Winger's recent video about Bethel.
Yeah, so I know all of these things. Jesse, you're probably maybe tired of speaking about them.